Okay, now let's come to the question number 4. Question number 4. Can Walmart achieve the same success in India if they are allowed to enter the market? So, Walmart started operation in US. They formulated an operation strategy. They implemented the same strategy in Europe, China, Brazil and other developing countries. So, how come such an operation strategy that is unique to American culture is able to adapt itself to the different market scenarios? That's what we are going to evaluate here with the help of one of the famous and classical models. This model is Michael Porter's value chain model, which was published in the HBR article in 1996 with named What is Strategy. In this model, he has mainly, we can say, layered the process into core process as well as support process. The core process, which is otherwise called as a primary process, which includes inbound logistics, outbound logistics, operations, marketing and sales and service. Above this core process, a creamy layer or rather a supporting process, which is firm infrastructure, human resource management, technological development and procurement. All these processes, both the core as well as the support process, is concentrated and directed towards the marginal aspect of the operation. So, we will in-depth analyze what are the challenges and the opportunities Walmart is going to face in India with respect to Porter's model. So, the first point is human resource model. So, for Walmart, all their employees are like assets. They train their employees in such a way that they follow the famous 10-foot rule. 10-foot rule focuses on customer service and relationship. If an employee sees a customer within 10 feet, he or she is supposed to go to the customer, inquire whether he or she needs a product or an additional service, and make sure that the customer leaves the department with a smile on his or her face. So that is the main motto of their training program. In India, what they have done is that they have taken so-called underprivileged or less advantaged youth and trained them, skilled them to work on retail stores, which comes on their strategic part so that when they are able to come to India, they can use this resource for working for them. Next is the technological aspect. We know they are good with technologies. My friends have already covered that. But the challenge here is India prepared for the technological advancement that Walmart is bringing into India? Is India's IT system or infrastructure is robust enough to handle it? So that would be the main challenge. Next is the procurement. Procurement, my friend has already covered, but the main detail I want to pinpoint here is that the quality consistency. They are already working with their suppliers so as to make sure that they have increased their productivity, also their quality, so that they have to maintain the quality standard whether they are operating in US, China or India. The next point is the logistics. I would say why it is important here. Inbound and outbound logistics wouldn't be a concern whether they would have been operating in America or in Europe. But in India, where the infrastructure is not that good, you have to make sure that your suppliers and other facilities are located nearby so that your backend cost is reduced to a great extent. The other aspect is the service aspect. Out of that, I would like to pinpoint the e-commerce aspect, which they have critically mentioned or rather conspicuously mentioned in their annual report. The in-depth analysis of e-commerce will be taken up by my friend on the next slide. In the other two aspects, the credit facility of the home delivery, I would rather consider this as a challenge. I will tell you why. Because if you have a shop nearby or a kirana shop nearby, what you will do is that you will have a personal attachment to them and you can buy your goods you want and ask you for credit. You don't have the money, you want the goods, you can get it. But I don't think that is quite possible in Walmart. So that is the challenge they are going to face or rather need to overcome by displacing the kirana shops. Next is the infrastructure facility. Out of that, real estate challenge. Interesting fact. Because if you operation in US, they operate in a large area. They procure a large area, do their investments there, develop it. But is that possible in a state like or a place like Mumbai or Delhi where the real estate prices are skyrocketing? It would be a challenge, certainly. The next is the operation aspect, which is quite important. Out of that, I would like to pinpoint the cash and carry aspect. Cash and carry is nothing else but the normal retail operation itself. Normal retail operation, the exceptions are only that they won't give you for credit, you have to take it for cash. Other thing is that you have to carry your goods and materials that you have bought, they won't transport it for you. The other is the complex network of the multis and the middlemen. India is notoriously known for their middleman activity, whether it is business or politics. So they have to make sure that they develop an operating system by which they will be able to displace the middlemen, thereby making sure that the customers get the product at a lower price. So the middleman has to be their target area. I would like to put it like this. Next is the hindrance in the partnership between Walmart and Walmart. They are in a JV, we know, but even they are in JV, they are two business entities, and in business, data is the key. So they would rather be suspicious of each other in sharing the full data with each other, because Bharati knows well that when market will be open, Walmart will be going to operate on their own. So there is a small degree of mistrust between these two entities. Next is the marketing and sales aspect. It is very, very critical in a highly diverse market like India, because the nature of behavior, both consumer as well as their buying pattern are different for South India, Northeast India or Western India. So it depends upon not only, even in South India it varies a lot. So when they are trying to make out their strategy, marketing strategy, they have to make sure that they consider into account the various diversity of all the parts of India rather than going for one uniform code. The rest of the presentation will be handled by my friend Kavish.
Hello. I will be taking up the question number 5, which is what would be your recommendation to the senior management with regard to Walmart in India? To answer this question, we would consider Porter's 5 forces model to consider all the possible scenarios and segment them into the 5 forces, which are threat of new entrants, bargaining power of consumers, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of substitutes, and the competitive advantage. So I will start with the threats for Walmart. The first point is political and legislative problems. We will primarily focus on the policy paralysis. Policy paralysis has made a huge impact on India's GDP. It has forced rating agencies across the world to reduce the ranking of India in terms of investment. Second is, there is strong opposition in terms of FDI and multi-brand retail, which has a gap of 51%, and which is due to host of indigenous reasons. Third is, India being the second fastest growing nation, it has a strong growth in retail sector. It is attractive for foreign markets, foreign players other than Walmart. Why? Because the stat says that the current sales today is $500 million and is expected to grow to the $900 million by 2014. So there lies an immense opportunity for other foreign players to join Walmart, which might be a threat for Walmart. Going to the second force, which is the buying power. Buying power in India is increasing, is growing. How? Large population in India, which is to the tune of 1.1 billion, has been growing spending power, which is expected to be $1 billion by 2021. Recent data shows there is an increase in credit card usage to the lines of 8,867 crore rupees. Rural market, which is expected to have $100 million opportunity, pose immense opportunity for Walmart to capture. So buying power wise, India is very good. Moving on to supplier power. Supply power in India is moderate because the infrastructure at supplier end is not developed. As well as it will be difficult for Walmart to maintain or to expect the consistency in the quality of product. So what Walmart should try to that major players such as Tesco are likely to follow Walmart and pose a major threat. Second, Walmart has done a very good job by following a vanguard approach by establishing the foremost position in India. Third, Walmart being in a JV with Bharti has established a strong relationship with the supplier in a fraternity which might be an edge over other foreign players. So, competitive wise, Walmart has a strong position. Coming to the fifth force, which is the threat of substitutes. Well, in India, established domestic Indian players have established their brand and consumer is not missing Walmart. So, Walmart should establish a creative demand for itself. Second is, there is a strong relationship between the traditional Indian retail outlets and consumers, which might pose a challenge for Walmart. So, studying all these forces, we have created a base on which we would be giving you the recommendations, which are: first, Walmart can concentrate on back-end infrastructure through cash and carry and best price. Second, Walmart should capitalize on FDI in storage and warehousing services, which has a cap of 100%. Third, there lies an immense opportunity in e-commerce. Just look at the numbers. It grows to the tunes of $125 to $60 billion. The growing smartphone adoption has expected that 450 million smartphone users will be by 2015. So, Walmart can tap this market, e-commerce market, and since there is a cap of 51%, Walmart can come to India through e-commerce. Fourth, Walmart should continue lobbying to increase the FDI cap. Other recommendation would be consensus and good working relation with Indian political leadership and bureaucracy. This will help Walmart immensely. Walmart should involve themselves in CSR by taking up social projects as a part of brand building. Lastly, aligning the corporate strategy with Indian tradition and culture. So these are the recommendations from our side to Walmart. And this brings us to the end of presentation. Thank you.